Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. GT Garage. So, firstly, excuse the mess here. Because I'm working in one bay of my shed, the deck of the trailer is also where I store all my crap for what I'm working on. So yeah, I haven't done a clean up this morning yet, but anyway, I'm sure we can deal with it. Today what I'm going to do is we're going to do a bit of seam sealing. So I've got a bit of expander foam, so I've got some better stuff here rather than like the I don't know what the cheap brand at Bunnings is, but this is a little bit better, so it doesn't have what do we call the sag or the shrinkage. I've just got a few gaps, like for example, let me show you. Just in there where this little piece tube steel here comes out and the guard is on a bit of a angle. In that gap there under the floor there's a void, so I'm just going to use a bit of expander foam in these gaps. So basically, concept here is, if this trailer were to go take a dip in some water, say if we went, I don't know, water crossing or something. Now for starters, this deck here is, I think approximately on flat ground it's about over 600 height. So I mean, I doubt that I'd regularly or if ever go through any water that deep, but just in case, I need to seal up the deck to stop water from coming up. Now up the front over there, I recycled bits of the tailgate and the floor to do, where are you? That section of floor there, section of floor right across the front here, and then back down the other side over there. So I've only done stitch welding along here and all the way around, so I need to seam seal that. Now I had a bit of a look at some products, did some bit of research, and the best value for money, in my opinion, that'll do the job and is flexible and is long lasting, it'd have to be, well, in my opinion, that what I can buy from the retail is Sikaflex. Let me get this zoom right. So what I've got here, this is a different way of applying the cork, or yeah, Sikaflex Pro, or Pro Plus I think it's called, 600mm. I think there's only about 300mm in your usual, like what people grab off the shelf for doing sealant and stuff. So I've grabbed, I think they call it a sausage, and the bigger gun. So this holds about, I think, almost twice as much as one of those normal tubes, and this is a dedicated seam sealer slash yeah, flexible sealant, that's what it is. So I'm going to use this all the way around this deck to seal, and see on the guards there where I've hang on, zoom in. So I've welded around, yeah, I've welded around that edge, right, and then down along the bottom there I've just done spot welds just here. So what I'm going to do is get in there with a wire brush on the inside. For the bottom part on this side, I'll put some seam sealant, and then for that outer edge up here, I'll go inside the wheel well and go from the inside out. And then there's places like this where this tube here sits on top of the guard and go along that seam there. Still need to put a bit of floor here. I was going to use steel, but because this isn't a load bearing area here, like you're not going to be standing or having weight on there, I might use some composite board just to save a bit on weight, because there's going to be composite board like here anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. We're back. Hopefully hopefully it works and I can provide you with some progress shots or progress video. Okay, bye for now. So a little bit more of an update here, folks. I mean, I was going to record the seam sealing job from the start and maybe do a hyperlapse or something, but I mean, I've never done it before, so I wanted to just see if I could get it right. Now, side note, it's not going to be as good a job as maybe a Tyler or someone who's done a lot of this before, but I mean, I'm not too worried about it because all of these sealed joins are going to be under a false floor. So the focus, I suppose, is more so along the lines of just making sure it's well sealed than it being pretty. So, side note, not going to be awesomely pretty, but have a look. So stitch welded seam along there and all the way through around there, and I've just used sausage gun with some Sikaflex Pro and little spatula scraper thing. So what I do is just lay a continuous bead along, trying to squish it into the seam. So that's an example. That's a wide one right there. Now, squish it into that seam, and then use a spatula just to give it a nice smooth over, and still, like, the spatula pushes it into the seam as well. Now, what makes it a bit hard is that's checker plate there, so it's not a very smooth edge on this side. Now, I know it looks a bit of surface rust there, but I did wire brush all of these seams that I'm sealing up. Yeah, nice thick bead, that's really thick on there. So this is just to stop any water ingress from underneath. I mean, for the sake of water tube costs now, I've done pretty much from over here. That seam there, you can see it, and on the edge of the frame over there, all the way around here, and all the way through here to here. And I mean, the gun hasn't even really moved, so it's not using heaps of material, but I am pumping it in there to make sure that it's nice and sealed. Now what I haven't done yet is around the guards here. That'll take a fair bit, inside and out, and over there, and then up around the edge here. Anyway, just a quick update for now.